And welcome everyone. Thanks for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Ayushman Singh Jamal. In a major legal turn, the Delhi court has acquitted former Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia in the Liquorgate case. All 23 accused, including BRS leader K Kavitha and the Aam Aadmi Party's Vijay Nair, have been discharged. Special Judge Jitendra Singh observed that the allegations lacked substance. The charge sheet had serious lacuna and there was no overarching conspiracy or criminal intent in the excise policy. The Aam Aadmi Party has hailed the verdict, with Kejriwal declaring that truth has prevailed. The CBI, however, has challenged the discharge order in the Delhi High Court, keeping the legal battle alive. The Congress, meanwhile, has accused the central agencies of misuse, while the BJP has questioned the court's reasoning, asking that if the charges were baseless, why were they allowed to be filed in the first place? Now, tonight we question that, does this verdict, where the Aam Aadmi Party was an outlier in the opposition camp, does this verdict finally vindicate the Kattar Imandar moniker of the Aam Aadmi Party, or is this just the beginning of another legal and political round? First, let's take you through the observations, the stinging observations which came in from the Rouse Avenue Court. Number one, the prosecution's case doesn't survive judicial scrutiny, is what the Rouse Avenue Court has said in its discharge order. The CBI tried to construct a narrative of conspiracy, a scathing observation coming in from the Rouse Avenue Court, given the fact that the BJP constructed its entire political narrative against Arvind Kejriwal in connection to the Liquorgate scandal. The prosecution's theory is mere conjecture, another huge blow to the CBI case. Also, what's coming in, observation number 4, no prima facie case made out against any of the 23 accused. The 23 accused that the BJP labelled as the corrupt kingpins of the Liquorgate scandal. The Rouse Avenue Court has said that there is no prima facie evidence. The CBI can't be relying on statements of approvers. Remember, the approvers was also something the BJP banked on when it comes to cornering the Aam Aadmi Party. Observation number 6, they will order a departmental inquiry against CBI officials, is another scathing indictment coming in from the Rouse Avenue Court, saying that the CBI officials seems to have been compromised in connection to this case, where the court saying that they will order a departmental inquiry. Voluminous charge sheet has many lacuna. Another observation coming in from the court, poking holes in the CBI's case. Observation number 8, charges not supported by any witness or statement. Another huge indictment coming in of the CBI case. Observation number 9, Kejriwal implicated without any cogent material. Remember, the BJP based its entire case around Kejriwal, saying that the Kattar Imandar image is completely false. But now the Rouse Avenue Court poking serious holes in the CBI's case. And observation number 10, the CBI failed to make a prima facie case against Sisodia as well. So the two big leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, both Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia, getting that discharge order. But what does this mean for the Aam Aadmi Party? Remember, for several months, as the war between the BJP and the Congress and other parties continue to escalate, the Aam Aadmi Party was pretty much an outlier in the political narrative. But this order from the Rouse Avenue Court has really boosted the political capital of the Aam Aadmi Party. It's a big boost to the Kattar Imandar pitch. Remember, this order of the Rouse Avenue Court seriously jolts the BJP's allegation that the Aam Aadmi Party is corrupt, and it boosts the Aam Aadmi Party's original pitch it has made to people across the country that it's a Kattar Imandar party. Number 2, it reinforces its anti-corruption image, something that was waning during the Sheesh Mahal saga as well as the Liquorgate saga. But the Liquorgate saga was the key weapon that the BJP was using against the Aam Aadmi Party. Number 3, the political vendetta narrative, something the opposition camp has been charging time and time again against the BJP, that has now been vindicated, pretty much gaining a lot of ground after the Rouse Avenue Court order. It's not just the Aam Aadmi Party which is making the political vendetta charge. Now every opposition party will get that narrative to launch against the BJP. That narrative has gained serious ground after the Rouse Avenue Court order. Number 4, verdict is likely to help rebuild the party's standing in Delhi, given the fact that the BJP was able to defeat the Aam Aadmi Party with the corruption angle of the Liquorgate scandal and Sheesh Mahal. Now this will help the Aam Aadmi Party to regain that political momentum. Number 5, the legal proceedings will continue as the CBI is set to move the Delhi High Court. The application has already been filed as per top CBI sources, where the CBI is pretty much aghast by the observations which have come in from the top court, the Rouse Avenue Court, when it comes to the entire Liquorgate twister. So the legal saga will continue, ladies and gentlemen. The legal saga will continue. But seriously, on a political note, this is a huge jolt to the BJP and its entire campaign against the Aam Aadmi Party. So the Liquorgate twist, has the Kattar Imandar image been vindicated for the Aam Aadmi Party? Does this bolster the Aam Aadmi Party when it comes to the political narrative around the country, especially in the national capital? And is this a serious jolt to the BJP, given the fact that the Rouse Avenue Court's observations will be used now by every opposition party to claim political vendetta, given the offensive coming in from several agencies against top leaders, not just within the Congress, but across the opposition political spectrum? What will be the dynamics going forward? We decode that with our guests. But here is an overview of what happened, what has shaken the political corridors in the national capital.
ये केजरीवाल भ्रष्ट नहीं है।
कोर्ट ने कहा है कि इतना फर्जी केस है, एक भी सबूत नहीं है, एक भी गवाह नहीं है कि इसमें मुकदमा भी नहीं चलाया जा सकता।
हमेशा कहते हैं कि एजेंसीज को भारतीय जनता पार्टी अपना एक काडर बनाकर चल रही है।
निचली अदालत ने सबूतों के अभाव में उनको बरी किया है। यह तकनीकी विषय है।
Get to our guests. I'm joined by Charu Pragya, spokesperson of the BJP, Pooja Tripathi, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Vandana Sinha, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, and Ashutosh Srivastav, advocate, joining us on the broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Charu Pragya, I'll come to you first. Are you guilty of a political conspiracy against the Aam Aadmi Party? Because it's no longer the Aam Aadmi Party, now it's a court of law which is saying that.
Good evening to you. Let me just begin by saying a few facts on record. One, this is the lower court which has given this order. This is in no way an acquittal. It is no way a clean chit. And had it been one, what do you think the High Court and the Supreme Court had been doing for the last couple of years? There were charges that were framed. There were observations that were made, and they were damning observations. Might I remind you that the Supreme Court had also noted 338 crores as proceeds of crime. This is a Supreme Court noting. CAG report says that over 2,000 crore was loss in revenue to the Delhi Exchequer. 170 phones have been destroyed over a period of merely 210 days. So today, if Aam Aadmi Party wants to go around pretending they have won Bharat Ratna because one lower court has given an order like this, I think that's a bit immature of them, and more importantly, they are
Charu Pragya, one thing that's very important in this entire narrative.
And let me just give you one more fact on record, Ayushman.
Right.
Exactly similar things had happened in 2024. On 20th of June, a special judge of the same Rouse Avenue Court had granted regular bail to Arvind Kejriwal, but this bail order was overturned on 25th of June by the Delhi High Court, and the reasons that were cited was that the material evidence was not even considered. I think this is going to be a similar show. CBI is going to be moving the High Court again. As we speak, CBI has made its intentions really, really clear.
Right.
And this has not been a political vendetta. These are questions that the citizens of Delhi have been asking. It was the courts that chose to keep Arvind Kejriwal and his friends in jail. It was not a political party. It was the judges who ruled on all of this, and they must have had sufficient evidence in hand. And these questions we are also asking. If the policy was so squeaky clean, why was it rolled back? If the policy was so squeaky clean, why is it that you gave one bottle free with every bottle of alcohol you were selling?
Charu Pragya,
margins went up.
Right. Before we get into this entire rigmarole, at the end of the day, the point is, since 2014, all the corruption allegations that the BJP has made, it's moved through court. It's, a lot of relief has been given to several of the accused. Can you tell me one conviction you've secured in all the corruption allegations you've made against the opposition leaders?
Ayushman, you're asking me as if I'm the investigative agency.
No, but
and
what
I'm
does it
court.
say that, the legal process just drags on
Can you tell
and
me?
drags
Yes,
on,
but
and
can
we
you-
don't have a single conviction? Let me just give you political points for spinning the narrative. It convinced the people of Delhi.
I got your question.
It convinced the people of Delhi that the Aam Aadmi Party was corrupt. They voted you into power. But the fact that a court has said that the CBI tried to construct a narrative of conspiracy, even saying that they will order a departmental inquiry against CBI officials, this is a stunning indictment of the top investigating agency of the country.
And I'm going to quote again the Delhi High Court, which in exactly a similar situation 2 years ago said that the lower court had a failure to consider material evidence. The lower court neglected the mandatory twin conditions for bail. The lower court had inadequate opportunity for prosecution, and adequate opportunity must be given. And at the same time, let's also remember that the corruption is being investigated by ED, not by CBI. This is a CBI related issue that the lower court has given some relief in. And obviously, the CBI is already moving the higher court. See, and I will say this again, everybody understands that the prosecuting authority is not my political party. It is not the Bharatiya Janata Party. The people who are writing these orders are judges, are honorable judges of our country, and they are the ones who are deciding. So why does the question point back to us, and has the case been closed? Are you saying that, Ayushman?
No. That question is pointed to you because you have gone hammer and tongs for several years saying
And
that
we
this
are
is
still continuing
the
to do
most
that.
corrupt party that has come to power in the national capital. But looking at the stunning indictment coming in
I'm
of the
still saying
CBI
that.
investigation, it gives the Aam Aadmi Party a huge political bolster.
Okay, may I just wrap up
but
my
one
statement?
Charu Pragya, let's not forget, when it comes to lower court observations, you carry those lower court observations with you in multiple other cases. In the National Herald case as well, what the Delhi High Court had to say about the Gandhis, it's still carried by the BJP as pretty much an admission of guilt that's come in from the court, as well as a conviction come in from the court. You have accused the Gandhis of being guilty in the National Herald case. Even though you haven't got a conviction, you take those court observations and you equate it to a conviction, pretty much. That's been the political narrative. In the battle of narratives where you've tried to corner the Aam Aadmi Party, the wind has been taken out of your sails. Admit to that at least.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because if the case didn't exist, Ayushman, where has this 2,000 crore gone? If the case didn't exist, why was the policy rolled back? If the case didn't exist, why were files destroyed and phones destroyed? Material evidence has been destroyed, and Manish Sisodia has admitted to this on record. Fingers were pointed at even Saurabh Bharadwaj and Atishi from inside jail, and these are recorded statements. So please tell me, has all of this been a figment of our imagination? 1+1 bottle of alcohol was not given to Delhi. Drinking age was not lowered. Are you trying to tell me the sales did not go up but profits did not go down?
Charu Pragya,
join the dots.
Charu Pragya, at the end of the day, the case is only as good as what you can prove in court. Regardless of what you say over here, regardless of what you say on the campaign trail, regardless of what you say at a rally, the charge is only as good as what you can prove in court. And let's face it one more time. Everyone in Delhi was convinced by the BJP that this is a corrupt party, which is why you got that stunning victory in the elections. Sheesh Mahal and the Liquorgate scandal. This is a stunning indictment of the entire prosecution.
Are you telling me the Sheesh Mahal is a figment of our imagination? Are you telling me the introduction of a liquor policy that actually gave contracts to even blacklisted vendors is a figment of imagination?
What I'm saying, listen, Charu Pragya, what I'm saying is that in the mind of...
I can't believe I'm saying that to an anchor, but one at a time. You ask a question, I will answer it, but while I'm asking, please don't interrupt me.
Okay, go ahead.
Right? Let me finish. So none of this is a figment of anybody's imagination, Ayushman. The fact is that the Sheesh Mahal stands for the country to see. The fact is that the liquor policy was rolled back. The fact is that all this money has been siphoned off and it has been noted. Yes, today the court says something, but haven't been alleging. We have constantly been alleging that evidence has been destroyed. I just told you, 170 phones is a huge number. It amounted to a cost of 1.38 crore worth of phones. files were destroyed. In fact, there was a case recorded for the very same
Right,
thing.
but-
And if everything was so squeaky clean, why were these Aam Aadmi Party leaders pointing fingers at each other?
But the point of the matter is, no matter what you say, it has to be a conviction from a court.
This is only the lower court, Ayushmann.
आप कुछ भी बोल दो. You can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. But when a court says that there is, the CBI tried to construct a narrative of conspiracy, prosecution theory is mere conjecture. This also resonates with the public, that something that you've been alleging has been struck down pretty much by any court, be it a lower court, a higher court. This has been struck down by a court of law because it just shows that the CBI's case has been completely wrecked. It's been completely weakened by these kind of observations. Hopefully, we'll see some.
The Rouse Avenue Court had made similar observations 2 years ago, which were turned down thumpingly by the Delhi High Court and by the Supreme Court.
Let's see what happens.
I would urge you to remind our viewers of those statements too.
Right,
When the Supreme Court said that there is prima facie evidence of money being siphoned off, when it was admitted that money was diverted to fund Goa elections, when it was said on record that these phones have been destroyed, and why were they destroyed if nothing untoward was happening?
But at the end of the day, it's still in the realm of conjecture.
Yes, the judicial process is on.
It's still in the realm of
judicial process is
conjecture.
on.
I'm saying this from the perspective of the voters on the ground, if you don't secure a conviction, your entire campaign just completely falls flat. This is just one brick in that massive wall at the end of the day. Let's get a reaction from the Aam Aadmi Party as well. It's a much-deserved victory lap for the Aam Aadmi Party, given these stunning revelations that have and observations coming in from the Rouse Avenue Court. Vandana Singh, I would completely agree that there has been a political booster for the Aam Aadmi Party, but the BJP has made it extremely clear this is a discharge from a lower court and not an acquittal. Are you taking a victory lap a bit prematurely?
Satyameva Jayate. First of all, the truth can be concealed, but it cannot be defeated. So, end of the day, the result is in front of everyone. The entire country is watching now. And I'm very thankful to the judges, to the honorable judges, for this bold decision. Because the BJP, you know what BJP wants? Because BJP thinks that everything can be influenced like ED and CBI. Because under the connivance of CBI and ED, BJP has tried to ruin Aam Aadmi Party. But this is the biggest victory. This is not the victory of only Aam Aadmi Party, but this is the victory of real judiciary system. This is the victory for the entire country. Because but I was just listening to Charu Pragya. If you are saying that this is just a discharge from the lower court, so when the lower court, the charge sheet was submitted before the lower court, why did not they? That time they are not agreed. It should be go to the direct Supreme Court. No. This is the procedure. The procedure needs to be followed up. And if you remember that the bail was granted by the Supreme Court only, when the Supreme Court said there is no prima facie evidence against Arvind Kejriwal. And he got the bail from Supreme Court. But this is only the propaganda. This is only the strategy from the BJP when Delhi election came up. This liquor policy was nothing but just a conspiracy of Bharatiya Janata Party to defeat the Aam Aadmi Party, because they are aware if they'll talk about the work, if they will talk about the honesty, Aam Aadmi Party is ruling just because of the work. So they just made a propaganda for this liquor scam. There was nothing. Therefore, it is in the judgment itself. There is no prima facie evidence. And let me tell you, this is not the acquittal after trial. Even the judge is asking for a single evidence that they can initiate the trial also. There is no prima facie evidence that trial can be initiated. Just imagine the fake statement. Just imagine the fake charge sheet.
Can I and before you go on to Congress?
And time will tell.
You need to move on.
And time will tell whether this kind of this similar kind of observations come in from the High Court and the the upper courts at the end of the day. But clearly, it's not a great start for the CBI's case against Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia. But Charu Pragya, just 30 seconds before I need to get the Congress in to the conversation as well.
Yeah, very quickly. I'm going to ask some 3 straight questions conditions. One was the approval for this liquor policy taken from the cabinet, not post facto, that you signed off on the policy and as an afterthought you decided to consult your cabinet. No, this is very important. The second thing, and this is also very important, is when your profit margins jump from 5% to 12%, how can it cause a loss to the government? How can it cause a loss to the people of Delhi? Very valid, very important point. And the last point I want to ask the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson is that you created a cartel system. You actually gotten people who were blacklisted.
one second. We
You
want,
gotten blacklisted
we
people.
want
So
these.
are you going to say all
we
of
want
this does
these-
not exist?
We want these charges. We want these allegations to be fleshed out by a court of law. Now the statements
And the
coming in
court
from
of law is doing it. No, the court of law
now
is
the
doing
statements
it.
from the BJP.
But are you saying that all these questions disappear
the
into
political
thin air?
credibility of the allegations against the BJP. Let's
And I
not.
love the
let's-
smile Congress spokesperson is making right now because they're the one who went around town screaming
Right,
that we take credit for getting Arvind Kejriwal
Charuk Pragya,
behind
I agree
bars.
with you.
I find the
They are
reaction also
Charuk
funny.
Pragya, I agree with you. They are caught between a rock and a hard place. But let's not also forget. Now, every opposition party in the election season, given the fact that the agencies are investigating leaders from almost every opposition party, they are going to use the observations of the Rouse Avenue Court politically against you. The Rouse Avenue Court has
wait
pretty
for the
much.
High Court.
The Rouse Avenue Court has given ammunition now to the entire India bloc to take on the BJP. Pooja Tripathi of the Congress Party, please come in on this. You are the progenitor of the entire Liquorgate scandal. You're the ones who first came out with the allegations against the Aam Aadmi Party that they were extremely corrupt and they were involved in the Liquorgate scandal. But at the same time, I'm trying to understand where do you stand politically, because you are accusing the BJP of using agencies like political weapons. But at the same time, you are the original, accusers against the Aam Aadmi Party when it comes to the Liquorgate scandal. Where do you stand?
Ayushman, I really wish that Ms. Pragya had represented CBI in the court, because the scathing remarks made by the judge of the lower court exposes the sheer incompetence of CBI. You frame a chief minister of a state before elections and you don't have the paper trail ready. You don't have any proof, and the action that has been initiated against you is a sheer incompetence that, just operating from Bharatiya Janata Party headquarters won't save you. You have to do some real work. Also, when you ask me the question, I'll come to you. It's a glaring expose of BJP's pre-election strategy. Main khaunga na khane dunga, the whole propaganda around. Just few days back, they cleared Parth Pawar of 1,800 crore land deal.
Let's stick to the Liquorgate scandal, please. Let's stick to the Liquorgate scandal.
Very predictable politics, Ayushman. That weaponizes the institution, that has a backdoor safeguard, and then this timed illegal maneuver just before the Punjab elections to have Aam Aadmi Party, which was at a dead end, to make them afloat in elections is a classic BJP's playbook, because they don't fight elections, they orchestrate elections. They orchestrate elections with 340% convictions against the opposition leaders, but give clean chit to their leaders.
Are you giving a clean chit to the Aam Aadmi Party?
Yeah?
Are you giving a clean chit to the Aam Aadmi Party?
That's what I'm saying. They're saying, just before elections, they're making Aam Aadmi Party afloat. They're giving a new lease of life to Aam Aadmi Party.
No,
so that,
just answer me clearly. Just answer me clearly. What is the Congress Party stand here? Is the Aam Aadmi Party being targeted when it comes to the Liquorgate scandal? Are they innocent of any wrongdoing when it comes to the liquor policy?
The Congress Party's stand is clear. First, it exposes us as a glaring expose of CBI's incompetency. Second is, it's a classic Bharatiya Janata Party playbook that you orchestrate an elections, you have a timed legal maneuver, you let loose your opposition, you have your ED, CBI, everyone.
And the Liquorgate scandal, is the Aam Aadmi Party guilty of misappropriating funds, money laundering, all the charges connection to the Liquorgate scandal?
Of course it was. We brought that allegation that was initiated by us, but just look at the timing of the elections. Punjab elections are out of the corner. They want a formidable force because they know there are absolutely nobody in Punjab elections. So they want to keep give a new lease of life to Aam Aadmi Party, and so that they stay afloat and opposition space is divided. Classic Bharatiya Janata Party playbook. But also, India is seeing through this. India is seeing through their double standards. India is seeing through the way they're orchestrating every
Can
election.
I come in, please?
Yeah, one second.
Institutions, not just through legal maneuvers, but also their timed intervention.
No, but I'm trying to. But I'm trying to ask you, like, are you blaming the BJP of vendetta, or are you blaming them that the solid charges that you brought out, that's what you claim, against the Aam Aadmi Party, they haven't been manifested into a conviction? Is that your stand?
So I'm saying they are orchestrating the election, the opposition's landscape. I'm saying, just before an election, they play by rules and they just give a clean sheet to these leaders. We look what happens with just give an example, and that's what I'm saying.
I think
Can I
that's the most unique kind of political narrative I've heard from anyone in the opposition camp. Charu Pragya, as per the Congress, you are in cahoots with the BJP in the background of all of this, that you generated this Rouse Avenue Court order to give a lease of life to the Aam Aadmi Party to weaken the Congress in Punjab.
It amazes me that the Congress cannot come up with a better excuse for anything. Their excuse for everything is elections around the corner. Madam, in our country, we have elections around the corner every 6 months. So every action cannot be impacted by elections. But I want to specifically ask you, Ajay Makhanji was wrong to accuse the Aam Aadmi Party.
No,
Supriya
she's not
Sune
said
was
that
wrong.
they were wrong. She's not said they were wrong.
Oh,
saying,
so they are
She
also
has
right.
opened a case against P. Chidambaram, Ayushman.
she's-
They have
no,
just
no,
opened
the Congress Party is saying
Very
that
convenient.
the Congress Party is saying that the BJP has deliberately given a lease of life to the Aam Aadmi Party to counter the Congress in Punjab. That is the, I think, very Lala Landish kind of allegation coming in from the Congress camp.
So,
But
it's
but
quite-
I want to get the lawyer in as well. I want to get Ashutosh Srivastav on the broadcast in as well. Mr. Srivastav, we've seen those scathing observations coming in from the Rouse Avenue Court. Now, as a lawyer, can just enlighten us when it comes to these kind of observations, because the CBI has said that they are quite aghast by what the Rouse Avenue Court has had to say. They immediately filed that appeal against the Rouse Avenue Court order. When you saw the observations and pretty much accusing the CBI of being the political arm of the BJP, I mean, if a court says that they will order a departmental inquiry against CBI officials and says that the CBI tried to construct a narrative of conspiracy, you're pretty much accusing the central agency of being a political arm of the ruling party. So, but as a lawyer, how do you see these observations? Can they stand scrutiny, or were they seriously given a lot of thought by the judge before making them?
See, as of now, what the order has been passed, obviously it's a valid order and has to be respected because the order has been passed after, following the due process of law. The investigation has been conducted by the CBI. They have submitted the charge sheet. However, the court was not convinced to frame the charges based on the charge sheet filed by the CBI. See, CBI has all its, rights and liberties to file their reply, their appeal, or they can challenge that order before the High Court. That's a different part as to how the High Court goes into it, whether certain aspects of the matter were not properly argued by the counsel of the CBI, or maybe the things were not brought to the knowledge of the court in a proper way. The evidences were not properly scrutinized by the concerned court. That's a different part. But however, I feel that CBI is expected to be an independent agency. Should not be influenced by any political party. And I also feel that no political party should have any direct role or whatsoever so far as the investigation by the CBI is concerned. Now, even if you consider the arrest part or whatsoever, everything was decided by the courts or maybe the higher courts. So, whether it was bail or it was rejection of the bail, everything happened in the due process of law by the concerned competent courts. So now, as we understand that this trial court was not convinced with the evidences, that it said that these are not sufficient enough to prosecute Mr. Kejriwal and others under the Prevention of Corruption Act. And accordingly, the court discharged them and did not frame the charges, to conduct the trial any further. So, as now the CBI says that the case was not properly, looked after or maybe decided by the concerned competent court, and hence we are like moving to the High Court. That's a different aspect. But yes, we have seen in many cases that the higher courts have been changing the decisions and setting aside the previous orders being passed. That also at the same time cannot be denied.
Right.
So I think, let us see how it goes in the higher court. But yes, as of now, I can say that this order is very much valid. and Mr. Kejriwal and
but as a
other
lawyer,
accused have been discharged.
were you taken aback by the wording, or does the order indicate that there were serious lapses in the CBI investigation?
No, no. See, as a lawyer, it all depends as to how the investigation has taken place, how the charge sheet has been filed, what are the evidences collected to support the charges framed or made by the CBI or any investigating agency, and based on that, both the parties are given equal opportunities to argue their matters
but
and
just to be
prove their
clear,
point.
no judge would irresponsibly make such observations.
Absolutely, I do agree. I do agree. But yes, at the same time, we also have to understand that many a times certain aspects, if they are not considered, or maybe certain things are missed out, then these issues are raised in the higher court, and the higher court, that depends whether they take further cognizance of the issue or not.
So, Vandana Sinha, that what Ashutosh Srivastav is saying, that clearly it's a very important order coming in from the lower court, but you shouldn't celebrate at this stage, given the fact that there is, as Charu Pragya was also pointing out, there is a track record of these lower court orders being overturned by the higher courts, and the higher courts looking at the evidence with a little more scrutiny, given the allegation that's coming in from the CBI that several aspects of the evidence were not considered by the Rouse Avenue Court. Your entire celebration could immediately backfire if this, as the case progresses forward. So, should the Aam Aadmi Party clearly adopt a wait and watch approach when it comes to this entire matter? Because while you're celebrating right now, while the political boost is in your favor, it could just be taken away by another court.
See, Ayushman, this is the judicial process. Anybody can follow it. Either CBI. It happened when the Arvind Kejriwal was denied the bail from the lower court, right? So that time we also said like it is okay. We approached to the High Court. We went to the Supreme Court. We got the bill from the Supreme Court. This is the right of the CBI. This is the right of anybody. They can approach to any other higher court, right? Because as of now, whatever the observation was made by the lower court, this is the lower court observation which has been made. And according to that, the Arvind Kejriwal got the clean sheet, and this Kattar Imandar party is
let's
still
not call it a clean sheet.
Party.
He's not got a clean sheet. He's not been acquitted. This is just a discharge coming in from a lower court. But politically, you can say it's a political clean sheet. Yeah.
Yes, Ayushman, this is what I am telling you. Giving an acquittal is after trial is a different thing. But still, the court does not even find a single piece of paper. There is no any prima facie evidence that the case can be initiated. No charges was framed. It is so you can understand the gravity of the case. Despite that, Manish Sisodia was inside the jail for 2 years. Arvind Kejriwal inside the jail for 6 months, and now that it is the observation was made by the trial court that there is no prima facie evidence. So now you can imagine the pressure which was built up on the ED and CBI by the BJP, that all the top leadership was behind the bar. Yeah. And of course, this is the right of anyone, either it is
right. And you are. I think it's a quite fair game given the observations which are coming in from the Rouse Avenue Court for the Aam Aadmi Party to make those allegations. Because just look at the language of the observations. It really paints the investigative agency as well as the BJP in a very negative light. For someone to say that they will order a departmental inquiry against CBI officials, even saying that the prosecution case doesn't survive judicial scrutiny, the CBI tried to construct a narrative of conspiracy. Prosecution's theory is mere conjecture. This flies in the face of the allegations which were coming in right ahead of the elections, where the BJP successfully convinced the people of Delhi that the Aam Aadmi Party is corrupt. Charu Pragya, beyond the legal rigmarole, I'll give you the final word. Beyond the legal rigmarole, you have handed the opposition a nuke pretty much when it comes to your stand against corruption.
So, while the opposition spokesperson is reminding everyone of the jail term of Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia, might I ask that at that point of time, did you hold the honorable judges to be false? Or are you accusing them of not having sufficient evidence to hold ministers, a chief minister even, behind bars for such a prolonged period of time? Is that what you're alleging? Because quite frankly, you cannot have your cake and eat it too. This cannot be a space of convenience where you say, oh my God, we were kept behind bars. hours and there was no evidence, so then you're effectively pointing fingers at the judicial process in the country. I will say this again. There are too many loopholes that still need to be closed, too many questions the people of Delhi are asking, too much money that has been swept under the carpet, which has no explanation for. And that explanation needs to come forth. This is only the lower court. There are appeals available in the High Court and the Supreme Court. And I think this will be brought to a conclusion sooner rather than later. And very soon we'll be back again discussing this and again asking Aam Aadmi Party, where has the money gone?
But for now, you agree that the political wind has been taken out of your sails?
No, not at all. Absolutely not. Because like I said, while we are speaking, there has been a movement to move the High Court again. And my questions remain, right? Till you cannot satisfy me as to why must there be a treka near a school or a college? Why should the drinking age be lowered? Why can sales go up but still profits must fall? These are questions Delhi deserves answers to.
But we want those questions to be answered, adjudicated and prosecuted by a court of law. If that same court accuses the CBI of mere conjecture and launches, threatens departmental inquiries against CBI officials, the BJP also has a lot to answer for when it comes to leveling those charges. While the courts are saying something else, you're saying something else. So my point is, in the political narrative, let's face it, in the election season coming up, and as so many opposition leaders face cases of corruption, this observation of the Rouse Avenue Court is pretty much a nuclear warhead in their hands to take on the BJP. You can't deny the political resonance of this order, Charu Pragya. But clearly, it will be a long legal and political road. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. I want to thank our guests for joining us.